Hey everyone, how are you all doing today? I used to be somewhat of a card shark. Now, if you don't know what a card shark is, it's someone who plays a vast amount of card games and excels pretty well at them, and that's exactly what I did. Back in the day before I started playing RuneScape, I was into a whole lot of card games, and I used to play them seriously all of the time. So you guys may be able to relate to this, you guys might still play some of these card games, and you might know what I'm talking about, but I used to play these very seriously, competitively, went to tournaments, etc., so I thought I'd share with you guys a little bit more about that. Anyways, I started playing cards when I was very young. My mom taught me how to play various card games like Crazy Sevens, Crazy Eights, you got your typical Goldfish, a bunch of regular card games containing a regular deck of cards. But I was more on the creative side, and I liked more advanced card games such as Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic, and obviously everyone started with Pokemon. Now, no one really played Pokemon, they only collected the cards back in the day, so I collected Pokemon cards, I didn't really play Pokemon. But my first real competitive card game, I would say, was Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was probably my favorite card game of all time just because of how it was formatted, how you played it, what kind of cards there were. I enjoyed everything about that game. So that was pretty much the first card game I ever really got into. But before I actually played Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively, I collected memorabilia. Now, if you don't know what memorabilia is, it's pretty much sports cards with pieces of either players' jerseys, players' cleats, players' bases, dirt from the field, whatever it may be, an autograph on the card, and I collected and traded those. So I went to a local card store. I used to buy packs of cards all the time. Obviously, my parents bought it for me, not me, because when I'm 13 years old, I don't have my own income. So I always got a bunch of cards, and I went to these trading nights, and I traded people my memorabilia for their memorabilia. So it was a lot of fun for me. I enjoyed collecting cards, and I enjoyed trading them and getting the players' cards that I love to have, and all of the favorite players that I watch on TV. So I used to be really into that. And around that same time, that's when Yu-Gi-Oh! First really came out. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this game. It looks cool. I bought the first starter deck that ever came out. And this is how every Yu-Gi-Oh! Story really goes. People are like, oh, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Hardcore. Yeah, I had the Kaiba starter deck with Blue Eyes White Dragon. I killed everybody. And that's not how it goes. Starter decks are actually really bad. And the newer ones, I think, are better because they contain better common cards. But let's not get into that. I don't play it anymore. I just know a little bit about the whole community and game at the moment. But anyways, it first came out with starter decks, and I bought the first starter deck, and I went to my first tournament, and everyone had the same cards, so it was kind of annoying, but I didn't do so well. But I knew after I played the first tournament that I was immediately hooked onto this game. I wanted to get better at it, and I wanted to have all of the best cards. So after a while, Yu-Gi-Oh! Released a lot of new packs and a lot of new cards, and over time I created my own deck that I called Beatdown, and it was pretty much just a bunch of strong 4-level monsters, and they would pretty much just destroy and beat down your opponent. You would do it fast and easy with high-level monsters, and it would work really well. And I designed this deck myself, and it actually won a lot of tournaments. Now, when I say a lot of tournaments, I usually played at two different places local to me. One place was called Then and Now that shut down, and another was called Monkey Head, which is now renamed to something else. But I used to go to a tournament every Thursday at Then and Now, and then I used to go to a tournament every, I think, Monday at Monkey Head, and I would compete with my deck, and actually at Then and Now, I had won 122 tournaments in a row. So that was like my big claim to fame there, is I won every week, every Thursday. 122 times or whatever it was 120 something in a row, and then I didn't go to one tournament, and I came back the next week and I lost to someone with the identical deck of mine, so I lost to myself pretty much. But it was really cool to be able to build a deck for my own and have it be so successful, and people wanted to copy it, and I won so many tournaments in a row, and that's how I really started making money. That wasn't my job, but it really became my job because my only passion at the time was cards. And when you won these tournaments, you would get store credit. So I pretty much funded my own path in these games and in these cards. So at a point, after winning so many tournaments in a row, I wanted to try other games other than Yu-Gi-Oh! Because that was the only game I was playing, and I was still collecting memorabilia sports cards at the same time. So I was funding both of those addictions with my tournament winnings. So after I won the tournament so much, and after I got so much store credit, I decided to try other games that were there. There was Pokemon, there was Magic, so I decided to get into Magic. Now, Magic was pretty big at the time, but it wasn't as big as Yu-Gi-Oh! But then soon Magic really took over, and Magic the Gathering became such a big card game. There was things like Friday Night Magic, there was Magic tournaments all over the world. It was pretty big, and it got to a point where it was outstanding, and so much good feedback from it that I was like, you know what, I want to play this. So I heard a lot of things about this. I had a lot of friends who played it as well, and they were like, Lee, you should try Magic. So I bought a few cards, I bought a few packs, and I decided to build my first deck. Now, Magic was the first real struggle I had in the card game. Now, Yu-Gi-Oh! I excelled at pretty fast. I wanted to be the best at the start. I was there right at the start of the game's release, so I got really good at it fast. I was able to understand the cards, understand strategies, and do really well with it. But with Magic, it's been out for a little while. I got into it late, and I was really behind, and I had no idea really any strategies or how to play any decks. I didn't even know how to play the game until my friend really taught me. So I had all these cards and I had no idea what I was doing. I would go to tournaments and I would constantly lose. I had no idea what was going on, and it was such a struggle. But anyways, after a while I got pretty good at it, and I ended up making a lot of money with Magic because I used to go to Monkey Head. Like I said, it was a place that was local to me. It was a card store, and they had a thing called Friday Night Magic, which I won 5 times in a row, and it's a really big tournament. People come from all over to actually contend in it, and I was able to win 5 times. And when you win, not only do you get money, but you also get these cool cards that have a foil on them that says FNM on the bottom, and it means Friday Night Magic. And I had 5 of those cards. They're specific promo cards just for people who win the tournament, so they were pretty special. I still have, I think, 3 of them. I think I sold 2 of them, but I have 3 of those cards still, and it's just a cool little prize to have to say, I won at this point. And these tournaments have like 100 people in them, so I did really well in Magic, and I excelled for a little while, but it became a little boring to me because a lot of expansions were coming out, and I wasn't good at it anymore. So I just stopped playing really, and I continued with Yu-Gi-Oh! I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Throughout that whole time. Like I said, it was funding all of my other card games, but I played Magic, I enjoyed it for a while, and then I kind of fell off of it. So I was still playing Yu-Gi-Oh! At the time, I stopped playing Magic, and then this is where it kind of gets weird about what card games I actually played. There was a lot of different card games, and there was tournaments at these places for these card games, and not many people went. So I said, hey, this is an opportunity to play a card game that not many people play, get some easy wins, get some easy money, and fund more card games. So I said, you know what, let's just get into them. So I got into some weird card games such as Inuyasha. I think it's a manga series. I never had any clue about what it was, but I got good at it and won a few tournaments. I played Showdown, which is a baseball game. It's basically a roll dice game. I don't really know what to declare it as, but you roll dice and you would follow what the cards say. Like a home run was 14 to 20. If you rolled a 14 or a 20 on this 20-sided dice, you would hit a home run, and you pitch people to get out. It was like baseball, but with cards. It was really cool, actually. I played that. What else did I play? I played Digimon. I mean, I played any card outlet that I could possibly make money in because I enjoyed winning tournaments. I enjoyed winning, and that's what I was good at. So I played all of these card games, and throughout my career, I won a lot of tournaments. I placed in many tournaments. I went to New York City to play in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament. I went to New York City to play in a Magic tournament. I went to conventions. I was a huge nerd, but that's not what makes you a nerd. If you play a game and enjoy something, it doesn't make you a nerd. It's something that you're into. It's a hobby, just like RuneScape. If people make fun of you for playing RuneScape or for playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, whatever it may be, it's just a hobby, and you shouldn't be ashamed of playing that. So the overall moral behind this story is I played all of this stuff, and I'm open enough to share it with you guys because, hey, I made a lot of money with it. I had a lot of fun as a kid with it because that's what my hobby was. I had a lot of fun when I was a kid, and trust me, it was a great time. I had a lot of fun. I met a lot of great people. I also met a lot of scumbags, but I'll talk about that some other time. But anyways, the key to this story is play the games you want to play the hobbies you want to play. If you're 20 years old and you're still playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, if you're 20 years old like myself playing RuneScape, whatever it may be, don't be ashamed of it. Play what you enjoy because that's what the point of a hobby is. Don't be ashamed of your hobbies. I mean, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic up until I was about 15 or 16 years old, which is about 4 or 5 years ago, right before senior year of high school. I stopped playing, and I mean, I stopped enjoying it at that point, so I stopped playing it, and that's my choice. I didn't stop playing it because someone said, oh, that's dumb, or that's gay, or you're a loser for playing that. I stopped because I was no longer interested. I couldn't keep up. I just fell off of the game. So that's what I did, and that's my story with cards. So if you have any stories about card games, or you still play card games, keep me updated, put them in the comments below, share them with me. I'd love to hear about what the card games are at now and how they're doing. If you play Magic the Gathering, if you play Yu-Gi-Oh!, whatever it may be, let me know in the comments below because I will find it interesting. I used to love those games, and it would be great to hear about them now and who plays them now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Later, everyone.